So, Five Nights at Freddy's. It's a game. Okay, but for real, we all know what FNAF is, right? And if you don't, well, too bad. I'm not giving you a history lesson on it. I'm instead gonna give you a history lesson on creepypastas. Yeah, creepypastas. We all know them, we all love them, and are maybe scared of them. I don't know. I think creepypastas are always a fun read. And one of my personal favorites is Abandoned by Disney, created by Slimebeast in 2014. The story is very simple. Some dude hear about this place called Treasure Island that Disney for some reason just shut down out of the blue. So then he decided to explore it, and then there's this place called Mowgli's Palace, eventually finding his way to a costume room, finding both a Donald Duck head and a Mickey costume. But for some reason, photo negative. Well, I see no problem with this. The explorer decides to pick up the Donald head until, BAM! A skull pops out, shattering on the floor. So he decides, like any sane person, to say fuck it and bolts out the door. But before he can fully leave, the motionless, inverted Mickey suit stands up and says,
"Hey, you want to see my head come off?"
And just starts ripping his head off, and stuff starts to leak out of it, which is described as yellow, chunky blood. Even though there were sequels after this to explain more about what the fuck this thing is, I always remembered and look back at the very first story because of how simple yet sweet it is. Okay, well, not really sweet, more like spooky on how it works, but yeah. So, like, what if we take that story and make it FNAF? Internet user Anart saw the original story and then got the idea to create concept art for what would be called Five Nights at Treasure Island, posting it on DeviantArt. So, like, then take that concept art and then make a game, then again, succeed on your 6th attempt in 2020, even though the piece was made in 2014. Yeah, it took 6 years for this game to come out. The game was passed around by a ton of developers until finally settling on Radiance, who finally realized the game, simply now called Treasure Island in 2020. Now yes, if you were a FNAF fandom enthusiast, you may know that demos of the early versions of the game have existed for a long while. Most people probably do know about the most early version of the game, being 1.0, released way back in 2014 by Anart. Hey, even Markiplier played it! You know your game is good when you have Marky Moo play it! Wait, he played Garden of Bam Bam?
Just fucking kill me!
Anywho, today I'm not actually taking a look at the OG demo, mainly because what do you want me to talk about that I'm not going to talk about with the 6.0? Oh, there's only 2 nights and the game looks bad? That's it. However, it is pretty nuts how this game was the first ever FNAF fan game. Like, that's crazy to think about. Okay, well, sort of. If you want to be technical, the first actual FNAF fan game was called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Massacre. However, the game sucks complete ass and was just a generic shooter made in the Unity engine with garbage animatronic designs. Also, this game didn't really even use the traditional FNAF gameplay, so you know what? Frack it. Treasure Island is first to fight me. Honestly, it is pretty impressive how close Anart got to the OG FNAF style. I think thanks to this game, we eventually would actually get, you know, good fan games like Candies and Flumpties, T-Jock, Return of Bloody Night, Five Nights at Pingus, and finally, Five Nights at Fuck Boys. Okay, alright, moving on. Unfortunately, game would be in development hell, spanning for a whopping 6 years. Ideas were added and dropped. The main lead was replaced, which is fucking dumb, but we'll get to that later. Fan-made versions of the already fan-made game were made. The game was very close to just straight up being cancelled. However, this all changed in 2020, when a small game developer, Radiance, who had dipped their toes in games based off of FNAF, finally released the official version of Five Nights at Treasure Island, or simply known as Treasure Island. So the game finally came out! So, was it worth the wait, or should it be forgotten like its other versions? Well, I mean, we gotta play a game to, you know, have final thoughts on it, right? I mean, you could just play the game, so you can have your own opinions on it, but don't do that, I need watch time! Alright, so you play as some dude named Jake, who has to find some other jackass named Henry, but unfortunately you're stranded on this island that Disney deserted called Treasure Island. Oh, no shocker. While your crewmates try to get someone out there to help you. Wait. What am I saying? Wasn't the inverted Mickey a costume in the original creepypasta? As a matter of fact, in the old versions, the phone call from Greg, yes, that's his real name, says that the guy is a costume.
then you've probably heard of the photo negative Mickey costume that wanders around.
So this freaking guy says I shouldn't screw up any of the equipment?
Oh, and by the way, don't screw up any of our equipment.
Like, motherfucker, I'm going to die! What are you talking about messing up with the equipment? What, do you have a relationship with the police tape? Back to my statement. Wasn't these guys costumes? Yes, this is what we call a retcon, folks. Now the suits are actually referred to as tunes, which I feel like is an alright change, because, like, bro, these guys look nothing like costumes. Also, like, who are these guys? God, I suck at structuring these reviews. Okay, so 9-1, you have to deal with photo negative Mickey. This son of a bitch will make his way through the building, and I might as well say this game looks... okay, I always thought this game looked really good until Radiance made Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese rebooted, and yeah, this game looks bad for the most part. I don't think it looks downright ugly. I mean, that's what it's trying to go for, but at the same time, I mean, it still looks pretty bad. I think the best way to describe it is that it does look like a spoof version of 2.0. I don't think it's dark and cramped, but at the same time, it's not winning awards. It's passable at best. The character designs, on the other hand, oh, goodness. Okay, I get what Radiance was doing to them. They're not suits anymore. It makes more sense to make them kind of look all melted and deformed and stuff. I like Ben the Ink Machine, now that I think about it. But, bro, they just look ugly. I think they look fine in some shots, but other than that, the designs look way too bland with not a lot of detail behind them. No, actually, funny enough, Radiance has actually made updated models for some of the characters, and hot damn, these actually do look really good. They keep the simple designs, but update them with better melting effects, and now look like a character from a PS2 game. Radiance has confirmed these guys as being 2.0 models, and for some reason, not gonna update the game or remaster it to include these guys. Wait, why? That's a really dumb choice, because the 2.0 models we've seen are really freaking good. I mean, I don't think it would be that hard to go back in the game and just copy and paste the animation sets. It's like if Phil made stuff for FNAF Plus, but just said, hey guys, the game actually doesn't exist. It was just a fun passion project I wanted to do to see what a FNAF remake would look like. Well, was that joke too early or too late? Alright, so getting into the actual gameplay. Oh, Jesus, I suck at structuring review.
You said that already!
So you start off with dealing with photo negative Mickey, who will pop into both entrances to your office. All you have to do is press space in the camera to shut it off. Because Greg, who has a new voice actor this time, but it's still a douche.
Also, don't mess around with the equipment too much. That stuff costs a lot. Good night.
Because apparently the Toon cannot see. Or, well, can, though not very well, which, like, no shit, look at it. Bro doesn't even have eyes.
I cannot see!
However, its hearing is very sharp, so of course doing this will... Anywho, back to the mechanics. I love the mechanic of shutting off the camera because it's a heavy risk and reward scenario. Because shutting one off, you know, you don't automatically die, which is cool. But at the same time, you can't see where that Toon is anymore. And also, you gotta make sure you don't spam it because it does take a while for it to go back up again. So you might be in a tight scenario where multiple Toons keep coming in, and you have to keep on shutting off the cameras, and then, oh, you're all out of cameras. It's really cool. And yes, I said mechanics and Pearl. There are 2 more mechanics, but they're for later. So hopefully you survive night 1 with good old Mickey. And on the night 2, where you get a new phone guy, Lisa, who actually is not a douche and chews out Greg, which is pretty funny. Unfortunately, this is the only time she has a phone call in the game, which, like, missed opportunity. It's like phone dude all over again. Oh yeah, how can I forget? We're also introduced to 2 new Toons. Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. The first being Donald, or, well, Donald's head, called Disembody. And good lord, this guy looks so much better than his older counterpart. I mean, yeah, sure, the model objectively kinda looks bad, but the revision looks so good. Like, the original was just Donald's head, but this time around, bro finally got his hat. Even weird-looking tentacles, like, bro can move, drive a car, hit the gritty. Well, in actuality, he simply comes to your room and... My God! Okay. Bro was really ready for the... You were a bit early, weren't ya? So Disembody works basically like Phantom Mangle in FNAF 3, where he'll create a loud-ass noise to attract the other Toons to you. Or... maybe he'll do that? I mean, I think that's what he's supposed to do, but, like, it never feels like the Toons get more aggressive, in my opinion. But then again, he's, like, gone in a second, so I guess it doesn't matter. There's Oswald. Yep, that's it. Unlike the other characters who have unique names, you got Oswald Cobblepot coming in, sneaking around like it's Mission Impossible. Actually, fun fact, the original 1.0 Oswald's textures, in universe it was explained that his costume was never finished, but in actuality, he was completely jacked because the white on his face was backwards. It was behind his head. How do you even do that? It was eventually fixed in 3.0, then changed back in 5.0, until switching back to being fixed in 6.0. Actually, funny enough, his updated model actually features black spots all over his face, a little nod to the original design. But yeah, anyways, his mechanic. It's, literally just Photo Negative Mickey's mechanic. He basically acts the exact same way, except once he gets in the office, he is a lot harder to see. That's Oswald's whole shtick. Despite the fact the game being much darker looking, P&M is very easy to spot because of its wild colors. Oswald, on the other hand, is much darker, so it's way harder to see him. However, luckily Night 2 is not that hard. You know what is? And completely just sucks almost all the fun out of the game? The power. Alright, so in the game you have a power meter that drains slowly. Oh, did I say slowly? I mean as fast as humanly possible? It basically will be at like 10% whenever I beat a night. It's really obnoxious. And yes, I know there's a way to counter this. We'll get into that later, but that still doesn't change the fact that it drains as fast as how the OG Find the Chuck E. Cheese power drains. Like, if you use the cameras just a teensy-weensy bit, you will die from a power outage. It's so dumb, because this could have been, you know, it could have been easily fixed, but nope, make the game unfair, I guess, because that always worked, especially in FNAF games that aren't the original OGs. Alright, let's save it for later. Okay, moving on to Night 3, you got some more stinkers to deal with. Imperia being, whatever the fuck that is. Oh, it's Minnie Mouse? Bro, Minnie, what did you do to yourself? She really let herself go after the divorce, I guess. And yes, I know a lot of people are probably gonna be like, wait a minute, why is she not photo negative like Mickey? And to answer your question, what are you talking about? This is a completely different character, completely original character, do not steal. I'm actually kind of being serious when I say that. So, yes, you might be thinking of Photo Negative Minnie when seeing this design, which I still wanted to say, what Anart was thinking when modeling this fucker? Like, I get you wanted to make her look, you know, not almost identical to Mickey, but, bro was made by the Brits.
Ugly! Like, legit ugliest thing I've seen in, like a week.
Eventually, once 3.0 was made, this version of the game, you know, removed Photo Negative Mickey alongside Minnie, replacing it with a non-inverted counterpart called Impure Mouse. Whatever the frick that means. Oh. I guess for 6.0, they didn't want to have two inverted rats wandering around, and also maybe another reason we'll get into later. Yes, I know I'm saving a lot until the end, frick you. Honestly, her design was the freakiest in my opinion back then, but now, since I've been engulfed in internet British slander, bro's just kind of funny looking. Like, literally, bro has the voice line saying, like, no matter what, that's just funny. Oh, how can I forget? The characters have voice lines that they can say throughout the night. God fucking damn it, I suck at making segues! Alright, I'll talk about this way later, because I still need to talk about this headless bugger. Yeah, Goofy's not making head these days, like, literally, bro ain't got one. So, Cephalus, as he's actually called, behaves a lot differently from the others, since he doesn't have, you know, a f***ing head. You can't really use the cameras on him. Instead, he detects body waves. Bro, his life must be actual hell. Also, wait, he doesn't have a head, yet he could still talk just fine? Okay, alright, so what do you gotta do? Well, a brand new mechanic has been added to this version of the game. Standing still. Yes, I'm serious. So basically you just stand still until Goofy goes away. However, honestly, it's a simple mechanic, but it's super intense considering the fact that you can't do anything outside of one other mechanic, and the fact it takes a while to leave, and the fact your heartbeat gets louder and louder. It's actually pretty spoopy. Night 3 is done. What the semi-free roam? What's going on here? I thought I was just gonna get a traditional FNAF game I didn't watch semi-free. Oh, Jesus! Yeah, so in Night 3, we get not only one, not two, but three fucking phone guys. Who is it? Henry? Oh yeah, Henry at the beginning of the game. This guy apparently has been around for a while, since like 2.0 where he... But apparently he tells us that he needs us to find him. According to him, Jake was sent out to search for him, but got stuck himself. Well, that's just great. I tried to be a good Samaritan, and I ended up getting 6 feet under with him. But anywho, so Henry talks about how he's stuck in a place called Pirate Caverns. in the lowest part of the building. That's where you're gonna find him. Fun fact, apparently Pirate Caverns was supposed to be in the very first version of Treasure Island, which is insane to think about. Insane. Why do I say insane twice? Which is insane to think about. That is something Scott wouldn't even do until Sister Location, though very poorly. And Art over here was going to be including it in one of the first FNAF fan games. So basically, you got to walk around the caverns avoiding this distorted rats, and you gotta make it to the elevator and go even deeper. And oh Jiminy Christmas, what the hell happened here? Was Walter down here searching for gold or something? Oh my god, what the? I thought the costumes were all placed by Inky Blobs. Then we got some mascot Mickey suit just wandering around like he owns the place. All right, so we gotta get into this room after avoiding that. And I think someone was having fun. What the fuck? Okay, I really have no idea what that was about. I guess there's so much more to that Mickey suit than meets the eye. Well, I actually do know the answer to my own question, but it's gonna be a long while before I even answer it. I love being convoluted. All right. Night 4, rolls around, and now we have to deal with you. Oh. It's always about you. So this distorted Mickey is actually called the Face. Jeez, I wonder why. The Face actually originally spawned from a modeling error when Anart was messing with PMM's model, which is neat that he could take a glitch and make it, its own thing, like what IDW did for the Assured glitch they made Surge, or what Notch did with the Minecraft pig. He made it into the Creeper from a modeling error, but the Face acts a little differently from the rest. Outside of, looking like that and having no legs, Face actually has realistic eyes. I really do not want to know where they came from. So instead, you gotta do a brand new mechanic. Turning off the power by pressing shift. You can turn off the power, which, yep, now you're in darkness apparently. You can't stay on for too long, or power outage, which by the way, PNM is the de facto power outage character, which is neat I suppose. And yes, before you say it, I guess this does help with the power management. Don't want to waste too much power, then just turn it off. I guess that's a workaround, but maybe why didn't you just make it where it doesn't drain as fast? I mean, sure, maybe I'm the dingball, I don't know, but I just think it's plain unfair, and also that I can't stay it on forever. That's actually fair, because then you can't just cheat the game. Alright, sorry, back to the Face. You turn off the power. Now, to be honest, this mechanic does make sense for its character, since why would he need to use sound or body waves to hunt you down when he can see? But, however, this is the only character in base game that uses this mechanic, and I just think that's a waste in my opinion. Honestly, he should have just been like, I don't know, a standing still character or something, because that mechanic is also semi-shaft too, and yes, I guess the power is used for conserving it more. Shut up, it's bullcrap that that's a mechanic anyways. Now that all the characters have been introduced, I can finally talk about something that was always so cool about this game. The voice lines.
You will experience real.
So actually, since 1.0, the characters in Treasure Island always had the ability to talk, which is insane! Just like with Pirate's Caverns, it took Scott until Sister Location where we finally could hear the animatronics actually talk. Because, I mean, what do we have before that? Moaning? Balloon Boy stock high sounds? Foxy singing? Yeah, sure. Treasure Island actually gives the character voice lines that they would say, which is so cool. And yes, I know the characters talking throughout the games is not a new concept for FNAF games, but I still think it's really cool. Now, alright, in the original version of the game, they were a bit obnoxious because Mickey would never shut up. However, they are toned down and are pretty spoopy sounding. One thing that's cool is that PM Mickey actually does say the famous lines from the original creepypasta. Oswald, I guess, is a Christian or something because he's always preaching in his super deep sounding voice.
Please have mercy on me. Why was I abandoned? Bless your soul.
And some just sound really cool and intimidating.
I love hanging around. Why do I exist?
I thought you cared.
You will experience real.
One thing that I think could count as a negative is that, I mean, I don't really like how the voices sound. Like, the voice lines, I think they fit every character perfectly, but the actual voices, outside of the Imperia and maybe the Face, I think all of them sound way too similar. Just deep, kind of raspy, and very demonic. Yes, folks, I'm not expecting these guys to sound like their canon counterparts because that would be stupid. However... Hey, you want to see my head come off? Give me your eyes! You are trespassing! Oh, bless your soul. Don't bless this one. Please, help me out here.
I like your teeth. I love hanging around.
Hear me! Hear me! Well, I thought you loved me. Give me salvation! Okay, I'm done. But I don't know. I don't like them all sounding just like slightly different variations of Darth Vader or Nightmare's voice. It's really generic. Maybe that's why I like Imperia's voice, because since it's a female, she can sound a lot different from the other cast. Now, I do think the voice works for the face, but come on, give my boy Goofy a different sounding voice. Now, yes, since these characters have been talking since the very first game, these guys had different sounding voice lines from 1.0/2.0, and oh my god, these sound so goofy and dumb. I love it.
Wanna see my head come off? Bless your soul. I know you hear this. Please bless me. Help me out here.
Hear me. Have a heart. Please. Did you think leaving me here would prove anything?
Like, I actually sort of prefer these ones because they all sound unique in their own goofy, twisted way. Now, I do actually find it cute that since the original version of the game until now, Anar has been voicing P and Mickey the whole time. I just think that's just cool. Now, even though I have mixed opinions on the voices, the jump scare sound is honestly really good. Now, the original OG one was, really bad. Like, it sounds so silly. I always love impersonating it. Just... But this new one, holy shit, it's good. It's big, loud, and bombastic, and that's why I love it. Jump scare animations are also, yeah, fine as well. They do their job. So, eventually beating Night 4, you go on to the 5th night. Well, okay, I was kind of lying at the beginning of Night 4. There is actually one more character introduced, and... oh, hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Fucking no. Okay, so since I didn't go in depth with this character in the Pirate's Caverns, I might as well talk about them now. This is Undyne. Yeah, so this corpse of a Mickey Mouse costume is now wandering around the place like he owns it. One thing I do like is that since how the story takes place, he's based more off the Mickey mascot suit from the 70s rather than the more modern one. That's a really cool attention to detail in my opinion. Though, however, I think it would have been cooler if he was based more off the first ever official Mickey mascot suit they used for Disney on Ice in the opening of Disneyland, cause Jesus! Apparently he just makes weird moans and grunts and will come into your office and you gotta stand still. Okay. Now, honestly, I was gonna say it's very weird to have a character appear on Night 5 that just uses the standing still mechanic, but like, it's Night 5, guys. The game ain't pulling back punches. Yeah, the game does get pretty hard because since most of the characters use the turning off camera mechanic, you can be stun locked for a bit if the toons decide to be douches and come into your office very quickly, making you run out of cameras quicker. And also, you may be stun locked into dealing with Ace or Undyne, but then Oswald decides to get his Christian ass in here. No! 2 times already! Woo! Alright, so since I don't really know where to put this, I'm just gonna glue it randomly, like how I did with the power. Oh my god, these nights are so long! It's honestly so weird how the nights feel like they drag, because each night clocks in around 6 minutes. Usually half and half games work, but, like, I don't know what it is. It just feels super sluggish. I guess the reason why it feels so slow is because, well, everything feels slow. It's not like how you have to check on stuff constantly like how most FNAF games work, then you have to balance stuff a lot and then times feel like it's going faster. No, here, it feels like you have to play the waiting game. You have to wait for the tunes to come to you, and because of that, it feels like a drag half the time. And yes, okay, I know the animatronics do come to you in the FNAF games, but it's just a figure of speech, okay, guys? I feel like there should have been a character that you have to check up on in the cameras, like, oh, gee, I don't know, the face? Wouldn't it have been, like, cool to have vent cams you need to check? So then, I don't know, you could flash the light at him to make him go away or something? I don't know, I'm just spitballing here. I think it would have been cool, because as of now, like, Jiminy Christmas, I gotta watch the Godfather trilogy before it hits 2 a.m. Alright, back to your regularly scheduled program, folks. After you beat Night 5, there you go. That's it. That's the game. Roll credits. For real this time.
You have one unheard message.
Hey Jake, I'm a little late to notify you about this. My apologies. I'm just leaving you a message to let you know that we're gonna need more time. I know you probably want to get out there, but there's been a few issues over here at base, and you're gonna have to stay at the island for a little bit longer. I'm super sorry, but there's nothing I can do about it. Just try and keep everything stable, and you'll be completely fine. I'm sure of it. I'll notify you when we're ready to pick you up as soon as possible. Thanks, and good night.
You bitch! Well, suffering succotash. We already had to deal with. I'm in danger. So yes, in Night 6, aka Hourglass Night. So apparently all the tunes have combined into something called Your Mama Hourglass. Apparently this character was actually supposed to debut way early in Treasure Island's lifetime with a... Oh my god, how is this supposed to be scary? Honestly, I think its new design looks okay. I think it does look a little too generic, you know, for being a hybrid. Like, it would have been cool to have the body parts or clothing from the others, like, sticking out or whatever. I mean, Enter's a hybrid, but they got a cool design, looking like an insane amalgamation of all the animatronic parts. But Hourglass is just kind of a black blob. He's literally just Beast Bendy, but with Mickey's head. Oh, spooky, I guess. Oh. Alright, but Night 6. Hear me out. This is pure fucking pain. Sure, it only took me like 6 attempts, but holy shit, I felt those 6 attempts. So what's the deal with this Knight? Hourglass is, you know, a hybrid, so she uses all the mechanics of the characters. The way you indicate which one is going to be used to defend yourself is by their starting position. So for example, if they start in the bathroom where A starts, you have to stand still. Yeah, this is f***ing stupid. Whose bright idea was this? Now, honestly, it's not like you have to look at every character's starting position, because, you know, that's dumb. Most of the characters, you just turn off the camera. So, here's my epic strategy on how to beat Hourglass. Only look at the bathroom, caverns, entrance, and the roof. And turn off the power as much as you can. Abuse the fuck out of it. So the free rooms I mentioned are pretty self-explanatory. The bathroom and caverns entrance is where Ace and Undying are entering, so you have to stand still, and for the roof, it's for the face. But make sure you don't have the power off for too long, or else blackout, and then you die. It's really obnoxious, and so tedious as well. Who the fuck thought this was fun and fair? No, I'm saying the idea of having the characters have a combination of all the previous mechanics, it's not a bad idea. No, not at all. Countless FNAF games did that idea before, but it's just the way you can tell, like, what mechanic you have to do is dumb. Like, if you could tell what move Hourglass is going to do in, oh gee, I don't know, The Office, then that would have been a lot easier. Actually saying Go Motion, you know, the noodly pick. Oh, god damn it. How long has it been since I made that 5 Minutes of Chuck E. Cheese review? Oh god. I hate my life. Actually had a great idea. Once Hourglass gets into your office, it will mimic the pose of the character it's representing. So for example, Goofy got his hand on the monitor. Well, what if Hourglass did that? You put 2 and 2 together and boom, it works. In fact, there's already a pose in the game that kind of works like that, mimicking how the face looks when he's in there. However, this doesn't automatically mean he's gonna work like the face, so keep that in mind. Just doing that and maybe tweaking the power for the whole game could actually make this night challenging, but also rewarding to beat. Though, to be honest, when I did finally beat Night 6, it felt like I won the lottery. It was so satisfying. I actually wanted to cry. I was so happy. Oh my god! But now we have to go to Pirate Caverns again, and oh shit, I forgot to mention. Yeah, so after Night 3, we don't get a phone call for Night 4. In Night 5, we get this. I understand, you went through a lot, man. On night 6, Henry calls back, talking about something secretive on the 3rd floor of the caverns, and tells us to meet him there with the code 3497. And thank goodness that the code is not randomized. It's always 3497, because Reynos probably would have assumed it would have been hell on earth that the code was randomized. So take that, FNAF Remaster! Also, I do find it clever that Hourglass does actually repeat voice lines the tunes originally said. Though I think it would have been funny if they had one where it's just constant quacking, you know, representing disembodied. I think that would have been kind of funny. But yeah, the whole idea of Hourglass Night is okay, but it really needed more balancing patches to make it hard, but fair. But anyhow, you finally did it. You beat Night 6 without cheesing the game, and you go to Pirate Caverns. And I just did like a beamline towards the 3rd floor, but apparently the Face and Undying are still roaming around? Okay, Undying makes sense, but how the hell did the Face not become a part of the hybrid? Because one of Hourglass' mechanics have you turning off the light. I'm assuming these sons of bitches aren't having in-depth conversation and attack orientation, which didn't, now that I think about it. How the hell did they become Hourglass? There's literally no explanation at all. Were they just like,
alright, guys, you know that Jake fucker, he's gone to night 6, what do we do?
Maybe we should, like, I don't know, give up.
What? No, we're Toons. We always make it through.
I'm sensing body waves in the room that we need a different strategy. Oh, I got a genius one! Hear me out, guys!
What the fuck?
I'm sensing, the body waves in this room that, this was a bad idea. At least I'm not alone. Well, I mean, we're now big and scary. We can totally take him on.
Wait, wasn't there like another one of us that had realistic eyes?
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no.
I mean, I like Face as much as the but it's still kind of just weird. I guess bro is just built different and has more self-awareness. He's gonna find out this is all a game based on a funny bear soon. And Undying is still here. Fun fact, here's what Undying used to look like.
Oh no, guys, it's the Ketchup Man, run!
Or is it Catsup Man? Alright, so you go to floor 3, type in the code, or type in 666, and what the fuck? Go into the actual Disney Vault and... Oh, what the? Hey, Walt Disney, what's going on, man? Oh, jeez, friendly hello, hi. Hey, how's it going, bro? I'm like, whoa!
It's here, my children.
Wait. That's it? That was the whole game? That was just a bunch of funny little rats! So I might as well talk about this entity who goes by the name Mother. Apparently this character is a heavily reworked version of God. Wait, what? So there was a character named God who looked like this? It was a female? That's not what it says in the Bible! Also, Oswald confirmed simp. But after each night, you get this weird interlude of you in a cage. I guess maybe you're supposed to be Henry? I don't know. And then Shadow Mickey pops up. And, you know, despite the fact you're a chick, why did you base yourself off a Mickey Mouse? You don't really look like a girl at all. Oh, God, I'm sorry! So, yeah, that's it, folks. I do actually really love the credits of the game, with being a projector showing all the incarnations of Treasure Island, with Labatt's Delay, aka Goodnight My Beautiful, playing from the soundtrack everywhere at the end of time. And I feel like that perfectly sums up Treasure Island. It's everywhere. It was doing almost anything I can to get released, but eventually it did at the end of time. Okay, I guess that terminology doesn't fit with the game because it actually came out, but I still think it fits, and it's also a good song to have at the end of the game. And it even thanks us. Well, thank you. I love games that do that. I kinda wish, though, Mickey himself said, "Thank you so much for playing my game." It would have been cute, but yeah, whatever, I guess we're done with the game. Or so we thought! Yep, we have our star in the 2 new modes. Custom Night, which is, you know, Custom Night, but... Hey, wait, what's with the lock symbols? Wait, are there unlockable characters? Let's put that on hold for a second and go to what the heck is Classic Mode? Oh, no way!
Wanna see my head come off?
Excuse me? Alright, okay. Wait, if that was in the original version, does that mean... Oh my god, he moved. Where did he go? Yep, my game crashed. Thanks, dick. But anywho, Classic Mode is a full-blown recreation of the first version of Treasure Island. Yeah, folks! Keep in mind, version 1.0 was never fully released. It was just a demo. So seeing this version is really cool. Oh. I didn't see you there. I didn't know you were still in the game. Nice to meet... Oh. That was charming. Well, guess he did learn that from his girlfriend, but honestly, it's really freaking cool. You basically get a whole nother game, and yes, it is limited, but it's still really cool. And hey, you even get to explore pirate caverns. Kind of. Sort of. Not really. You have to survive for a minute so the face over here doesn't kill you. However, as far as I know, he only appears in this room. So you can basically just sit out at the starting position and never die. Well, hey, easily cheesing games. That's my specialty. And hey, okay. So, yeah, overall, yes, this game is pretty limited, but I honestly think it's a really fun bonus that you can beat very quickly. And what do I get in the...
Wanna see my head come off?
Alright. Time to talk about this. So in Custom Night, you have these locks for unlockable characters that you can get through challenges, which is super cool. Now, yes, the idea probably has existed before Radiance really did open my third eye to this idea, but I think it's super cool. I mean, outside of some rare examples and even the official FNAF games, Custom Night is not canon, so why not throw in some fun bonus characters? Now, you do unlock most of these characters through the challenges, but the gruesome twosome are unlocked by playing through Classic Mode, Classic PNM, and Classic Face. Now, I actually really love Classic PNM. Now, yeah, I don't really like how he's basically just a reskin of PNM, like, he could seriously just be a skin, but I think it's still cool to include just an evolution over time, and the fact how his head constantly screws around super unnatural, like how it was in the original version, is really spoopy. Now, Classic Face is a little more interesting. Unfortunately, unlike Classic P and Mickey, Face doesn't have any voice lines, which sucks. No, actually, Classic Face has a completely different mechanic. If I needed to turn off the camera, but no, in Classic Mode and Custom Night, you had to flick up the camera for him to leave. Weak sauce weakness. I do love, however, that the jump scare they have are damn near perfect recreations of their original jump scare animations. Like, Face literally just looks like a copy, and that's good. Now, what about the other characters? The next character you unlock by beating Nightmare Mode, which wasn't actually that hard, despite the fact it includes all base characters on 20. I mean, I died once at like 4 AM, got really replayed it and beat it. Whoopee. Beating this challenge, you get Mascot Photonegative Mickey. Okay, this character is honestly really meaningless. Alright, now the idea of this character is genius, being based off the actual true original version of PNM. It's very interesting to see that the concept art and art made actually had PNM in his Disneyland outfit like the original creepypasta, but was scrapped because probably there wasn't no model that actually looked like that at the time. But he's finally here, sporting an actual different design from Undying, which I think is cool. He doesn't just reuse the model, he also has a mallet and refers to a few suggestions and actually hits you with it in his jump scare. His voice, unlike the deep masculine PNM from 1.0 or the demonic PNM from 6.0, Mascot actually has a hushed, perverted, but perfectly executed Mickey Mouse voice. Just like the OG creepypasta! But also the fact he doesn't actually just have the, "Hey, face, you wanna see my head come off" line? No, he has more lines and actually does the Mickey laugh, which is awesome. But like, even though this character is cool, despite the fact his actual mechanic is just turning out the lights, we already have classic PNM. Like, why do we have free versions of Photo Negative Mickey? It feels super bloated in my opinion. I honestly feel like he should be removed or have classic be removed instead in favor of, Classic Oswald! Yeah, he was planned to be in the custom night but was scrapped due to there being too many characters they had to turn off the cameras with. Which sucks because he honestly would have worked because yes, he's just a turn off camera character, but he also looks different enough from current Oswald that it could work. But I guess that would have been a little weird to not have the original version of your main character. Even though Mascot is the true original. Okay, I don't know.
Hi there.
You motherfucker. Yeah, this guy is called Willy. Yeah, not Willy with I-E, nope, with a Y, because it looked better? I don't know. So you remember at the beginning of the video I said this? The main lead was replaced, which is f***ing dumb, but we'll get to that later. Yep, this guy replaced Mickey. So during 3.0, PM Mickey was supposed to be replaced basically by a non-photo negative version of himself called Mick. But apparently this character was scrapped and replaced with this guy at the last minute. I think it was due to Slime Beast wanting the game taken down because he used PNM or something. I really don't know. So Willy was put in, and shocker, I never liked him. Mick would have been stupid, but Willy is like 10 times stupider, because it's quite literally just Mickey's model from the Kingdom Hearts 2's Timeless River world. No edits at all, which is super dumb. Bro feels so out of place, which is, you know, ironic, because that's what PNM's job is supposed to be. He doesn't even look that scary. Even if you add realistic eyes like the face, it doesn't help. During 4.0, he was replaced by Mick, but 5.0, there was the return for Photo Negative Mickey, looking like... What the hell is that? Here, however, he does act way differently. He's basically just Phantom Balloon Boy. Okay, well, not fully. He will randomly appear on a camera, and you have to look away or flip the camera down. If you fail to do this 3 times, you die. Honestly, I feel like this mechanic doesn't make sense for Willy, but like, I don't care enough to think of a new mechanic, so fucking cool that he's here anyways. Now the next challenge, you unlock... What the hell? So, this is Pete. Apparently he was going to appear in 2.0 as an Easter egg character, but was scrapped. And like, bro, his design sucks. Bro's literally just Pete's model from Timeless River. Like, it made no sense with Willy, and it makes 0 sense with Pete. But his mechanic is that he'll make a sound on the monitor, and you gotta find a red dot on the camera so you can go away. Now, honestly, I do like this mechanic, and it's also perfectly countered by Willy. You try to look in the camera, and then bam, Willy pops up, and then you die. Honestly, I don't really like that Pete is not visible at all on the cameras, which is dumb and lazy. And honestly, I feel like him and Willy should be combined into one character. Like, they're, you know, they're 2 separate characters, but they're combined into one slot. Like, it makes sense. They both counter each other really well, and both already have the same theming, but all freaking well, I guess. So last character you unlock is... Huh?
My name is Sparky.
Sparky? The very first and most popular FNAF hoax character? Yeah, so funny enough, Sparky was actually planned to appear in 5.0. Yeah, dead ass. Apparently Anar couldn't decide to make him an Easter egg or be an actual character. Oh yes, the animatronic dog who was supposed to be made for Freddy Fazbear Pizza just so happened to show up here. Like, come on man, that's just dumb sounding. And besides, I just think it's overall just a weird inclusion. I think his mechanic is fine where you have to turn out the power like Mascot. Funny enough, I actually was gonna say that the custom night characters don't have unique mechanics, but really, it's like half brand new, half are reused. One is turning on the cameras while the others is turning on the power, which honestly I think is fine because in base game only one character had the turning off power mechanic. So yeah, overall, I think this was a cool idea, though some of the characters were on the weak side. Like, I feel like some characters should have been included, like Hourglass. That would have been sick. Of course, I think they would have a more dumbed down version of their mechanic, but it still would have been cool. Or why not Suicide Mouse! Yeah, Suicide Mouse! This was a character that first appeared in Remaster 1.0, being based off another creepypasta that's about a Mickey Mouse cartoon from the 30s, where Mickey is constantly walking in a sidewalk looking sad, until once the people at Disney converted it into a file, the short was extended and apparently the short turns to shit, with Mickey becoming distorted, the streets crumbling, and the once piano music, which sounded like someone just banging keys out of order, turns into horrifying screams. Eventually, after the cartoon, the person who screen tested the short states, "Real suffering is not known," and then kills himself with the security guard's gun. The short ends with the classic Mickey title card with Russian text at the bottom saying, "The sights of hell brings its viewers back in." Ooh, sending chills up and down my nipples. But yeah, so in the original version of Treasure Island, this character appeared called Suicide Mouse. Once he appeared, he plays the song from the shore while changing some of the background elements like posters with the classic Mickey Mouse face. It's a damn shame this character didn't appear because he honestly is pretty cool and has a spooky idea behind him. I mean, he does get a cameo at the credits, and there's an Easter egg of this who is Nightmare Suicide Mouse. Long story, but still, it really sucks that he's nowhere in the game. What the hell was that? Oh no, it's the music. I mean, the broadcasting room is still in this version of the game, which was Suicide Mouse's starting position. Yeah, Suicide Mouse was renamed to Mortimer, which no, it's not a reference to Mortimer Mouse, unfortunately, but instead the Latin word mortem, meaning death. Oh, fun. But anyhow, this character is actually one of many Easter egg characters. Like, there are a lot in this game, like...
Squidward tentacles!
There's also Pluto. He just likes chilling. And this guy called the Forgotten One, who... crashes the game. Alright, 3 times in a row, baby! Now, Mortimer behaves a lot differently. Unlike the other Easter egg characters, Mortimer acts like a normal enemy. However, he removes everyone else on the night and acts like good old Suicide Mouse, making everything black and white, changing the posters, the whole shebang. Now, I actually do really like the redesign given to him. Originally, he was just black and white Mickey, that's it. I mean, sure, he's still that technically, but he now has wire sticking out of him, realistic teeth, and static in his eyes, making him look more spook. Also, something really cool is the fact that this character actually has official voice lines. Being a depressed Mickey, okay, but in all seriousness, it does actually sound pretty good. The impression is not spot on, but it does sound very close, and the effects added really make it sound really eerie.
Can you hear the screaming? It never stops. Never ever stops. The gates of hell have been.
Even says the iconic lines from the creepypasta.
Real suffering is not known. The sights of hell bring its viewers back in.
Now, even though this Easter egg is really cool, I have one little problem. Why is he an Easter egg? Now, okay, I know it probably could have been like this originally. I'm assuming he wasn't just gonna be a common enemy, but come on, this tune is so awesome. And besides, despite him being an Easter egg, he's also like a super rare Easter egg, like to the point I wouldn't be shocked if some people played the game and didn't even know he existed. Fun fact, apparently Mortimer is actually deactivated during Night 6, so you don't cheese it. More like deactivated throughout the whole game. Now, yeah, I get it. I'm assuming this was done since when he appears, all of the characters are removed. Like, honestly, I would have preferred if he gets to appear more often, meaning if he also is another enemy added on top of the other ones. And besides, this mechanic can be used to cheese the all max mode. Oh yeah, the all max mode, aka True Nightmare. Now, people might want to know, Isaac, did you beat the all max mode? Well... Oh my god, why is this night so hard? Okay, yes, I know why it is, because it's the all max mode, no duh, but I feel like I died to the stupidest things, and you wanna know why? It's these guys!
Allow us to introduce ourselves!
Really, this is purely bullshit! Like, why does Ace and Undyne take so long to leave the damn room, and then right when this happens, the classic face appears and kills me? Like, one time I flipped the camera up, and he's still there, like, what, I flipped it up! Dude, if the game is just gonna cheat, then I might as well just watch the ending on YouTube, so thanks, Spawn Mattis, you saved the day. Also, lucky him, he got the Mortimer Easter egg. Cool. I mean, I couldn't beat a night and got the Mortimer Easter egg, but, you know, screw me. But anyways, what do you get? Alright, what the hell is that? Geez, Treasure Island has a lot of lore, but they don't want to explain it well. Yeah, of course, it's a game, show don't tell method here, but what does this mean? I'm assuming the thing on the door stands for Discovery Island, but like, what the hell does that mean? I guess we have to wait for the sequel to explain. Bro, I was just kidding. Alright, so that's about it for Treasure Island. But wait, there's more! Yeah, we ain't done just yet. I'm holding you hostage. Oh, you click off the video. I didn't expect that. Wait, are you looking at boy? So, funny enough, it took 6 years for this game to come out, and when it finally released, we got not one, but 2 versions of the game. Not only was all the original builds released, but a new version of the game dropped called Five Nights at Treasure Island Anniversary Edition. This version of the game dropped around the time of the game's anniversary, which is honestly nuts that this game is almost as old as FNAF itself. Life is short, goddamn. But anyways, this is a simple remake of the remaster 1.0 version of the game. I say this because this version actually has the broadcasting room, which means, yeah baby, Suicide Mouse is here as another Easter egg character! Oh god damn! Bro, how am I supposed to be scared by that, bro? It's just set. That will do. Alright, okay. So overall, I actually do like how this game looks, in my opinion. Actually looking a little better than the actual game, funny enough. It's grimy and heavily stylized, which I like. Also, I do actually like the character design. Okay. Alright, there are very simple redesigns, but work really well. Like, fun fact here, the photo-negative Mickey model you see is not actually one made from scratch. It actually uses the Castle Illusion Remake's Mickey as a base. So almost every version of the mouse you see in the game is traced back to this one guy. But here, PNM actually uses a different model, which is a breath of fresh air. I feel like PN Mini actually does look pretty spooky, and overall, the characters here are really freaking good. The same applies to voice lines as well. I think they are way better than base games because every character actually sounds unique. Heck, I even like face banging around for the fence. Oh yeah, speaking of which. Alright, okay, let's design. Alright, yeah, I know the face is supposed to be ugly. That's his thing. But with the original model, it looks ugly in like a good way, as in that's the point and it made a charming design. Face in Anniversary just looks ugly in a bad way. I don't like his dumbass smile he has. Like, Face has his mouth hang open. Yeah, it looked silly, but it was in a form of a frown, so it was more unnatural. Here he just looks goofy. The same applies with his head shape as well. Looks like a square compared to the more unnatural human head. See, that's the thing. The original Face fell into the uncanny valley, looking similar to Mickey, but also kind of human-like as well, while this version looks like a shitty fan mock-up of him. Like, remember that old-ass Gmod model of the Face? Yeah, it reminds me of that. It's just chillin'. That's all I have to say there. But obviously, gameplay comes first. So what do I think of the game? This is generally one of the slowest games I ever played in my life. Yeah, I thought Base Treasure Island was already slow, but no, this is like 10 times slower than base game. You only have like 2 ways to defend yourself, shutting off the cameras or hiding under the desk. However, with the exception of Ace, hiding only gives you a 50% chance of survival, and some of the time, especially if the suits... Wait, suits? Yeah, in this game they go back to being suits, but whatever, are being dicks, you're gonna have to hide. And it takes like years of the cameras to reset. And worst of all, Greg is the only phone guy. Okay, I guess that last one doesn't matter, but shut up. I give this game the benefit of the doubt and waited until like night 3, but the game was not picking up the slack. And the fact that this game was not the one I was mainly reviewing for this video, I had enough.
That's right, we're gonna cheat.
Yeah, I cheated so then I could access Custom Night so then I could try to all max mode. Honestly, the game started to pick up the pace, but like, why did I take the f***ing max mode of the game when it finally started to get stressful? Also, since I cheated, might as well look at the extra menu. Alright, okay. Really? Now, keep in mind, I know Base Treasure Island had Everywhere at the End of Time music playing during the credits and Custom Night, but like, why use the most well-known song from the album? It's kind of silly, not gonna lie. However, hey, it is cool that there's actually an extra menu unlike the base game for some reason. That's actually pretty stupid, not gonna lie. But what do you even get when you beat the game? A paycheck for $35. Are you shitting me? And I get a pink slip for the Custom Night? Yeah, I'm not beating this game, fuck you. So overall, Anniversary Edition is okay, I guess. It's really mad in my opinion. Unless you love wasting time, I don't recommend playing it. Five Nights at Treasure Island is an insane, wonky mess. However, unlike other FNAF fan games like The Return of Freddy's, it's a good, insane, wonky mess. Honestly, the game is pretty alright. There are flaws to it. I feel like it does drag a lot. However, when the game is good, It can be good. There's just a few hiccups it has. And I think the game is also a crowning achievement and a huge motivation for other fan game developers to look at. Despite it taking 6 years to make, more than even AAA games or even the main FNAF games itself, it still came out. And it was pretty good. So honestly, I can't wait for what Treasure Island has in store for the future. It might take another 6 years or few months. Whoa, that was quick. And, it's already out. Well, I know what I'm doing tonight, but whatever. Despite the fact that it is abandoned by Disney, it will not be abandoned by the people who love this weird-ass island. Of course, when I finish this video, look who decides to make a remake of their game!